One of the important things to look out for when you're pregnant is any bleeding or other unusual discharge coming from your vagina, as this could be a sign that something isn't right.
If you experience any kind of abnormal discharge, bleeding or pain in pregnancy, it's really important that you let us know. They can be signs of things like premature labour, which put obviously you and baby at risk. They could be signs of that there's something wrong with the placenta that could make you lose a lot of blood and be quite poorly and make baby be poorly. They can be signs of lots of things that are quite worrying. Lots of times they'll be fine, we'll check you over and send you home again, but it's for those times that things aren't quite right that we need to make sure we're seeing you every time that happens.
The normal discharge that all women experience is a milky fluid that your body produces to prevent infections. It's important to look out for any changes.
In pregnancy, lots of women will experience more discharge than what's normal for them. But it's really important that we check this out if this doesn't feel right. So if it has got a funny smell or is a different colour, particularly if it's a bit greeny in colour, then it would be really important to get that checked out either with your GP or with your midwife, who might do what's called a swab, just to test that and make sure that there's no bugs and no infection.
If you notice any bleeding from your vagina, it's important to tell your midwife or doctor straight away. It may be nothing serious, but it can be a sign of a problem that could put you and your baby at risk.
Sometimes in early pregnancy you can get a little bit of spotting. So if you had a biro and put it on a piece of paper, you get a little spot of red, so that kind of thing. So really small amounts, but it's still worth phoning your GP and letting them know about it so that we can look into it and make sure it's okay. If you have any bleeding, so fresh red blood loss, whether that's early in your pregnancy or later in your pregnancy, that really needs to be looked into straight away.
In the early weeks, bleeding can be a sign that your pregnancy isn't developing normally. Later on, it could mean something isn't right with your placenta, so it's important to have it checked by your midwife or doctor.
Amy will probably come see you at home, make it a bit easier for you and it's a bit more flexible.
Another type of discharge to look out for is a watery fluid.
If you have any discharge that's really watery, that could be a sign that maybe your waters have broken early. The waters are what's around the baby, so protects the baby like a bubble. So if your waters have broken, your baby doesn't have that protection anymore, so it's more at risk of things like infection. You're also at risk of going into labour early as well. So if ever you have any discharge like that, it's really important for you to phone your maternity unit, and we'd want to check you over and just make sure that your waters haven't broken.
For more information, you might like to hear one mother's experience in the film What If My Waters Break Early? The Facts.
My advice to mums would be, don't worry about raising any concerns you've got about your health with your midwife or your GP, and hopefully in the end you will have a good outcome as I have.
You can go to the Our Chance website to see more films in the series and find out about this campaign to save the lives of mothers and babies. If you're pregnant or have a new baby, you can also download the free Baby Buddy app, which contains all the Our Chance films, as well as more than 200 other films and lots of information to help you and your baby have a healthy start. The Our Chance films and campaign have been created by the charities Best Beginnings and SANS and are supported by the Department of Health and NHS England.